A seismic shift is rattling the very foundation of skilled immigration. President Trump's proposed $100,000 fee for H-1B visas is sparking panic, speculation, and loads of unanswered questions. Could this move end up harming the U.S. economy more than India's? And what ripple effects might we see in the global tech and medical worlds? The answer might surprise you. The weekend started with alarm when the White House broke the news of dramatically increasing the cost of H-1B skilled worker permits, multiplying the fee by up to 50 times. The response was immediate and frantic. Top firms in Silicon Valley advised employees to stay put. Foreign workers rushed to book flights home, and immigration attorneys scrambled to interpret the new rules. Then came a quick about-face. By Saturday, officials clarified that the hefty new fee targets only new H-1B applicants and was a one-time charge, not a recurring cost. Yet this attempt at damage control hasn't allayed concerns about the program's future. And here's where things get truly divisive. The H-1B program, a pillar of U.S. economic growth for the last 30 years, has long fueled the aspirations of countless Indians while keeping American labs, universities, hospitals, and startups at the cutting edge. Critics argue that it suppresses American wages, while supporters celebrate its success in attracting global brilliance. So, what happens when the main pipeline of international talent suddenly faces such a steep price hike? To put it in perspective, the H-1B visa route has transformed the lives of many Indians, turning small-town programmers into high-earning professionals, boosting families into greater prosperity, and creating entire industries that cater to this new internationally mobile workforce. From airlines flying direct routes to U.S. cities, to financial companies offering specialized services for visa holders. America, too, has reaped enormous benefits. Today, Indian-born executives lead tech giants like Google, Microsoft, and IBM. Nearly 6% of U.S. physicians are of Indian origin, many of whom originally arrived via the H-1B program. In fact, over 70% of recent H-1B holders have come from India, with China at a distant second. And in the IT sector specifically, Indian nationals have consistently filled the vast majority of all H-1B jobs, especially those related to computers and software. Want another example? In 2023 alone, more than 8,200 new H-1Bs were granted to doctors working in general medicine and surgery, many of them Indian. Nearly 1/4 of all physicians in the U.S. were trained abroad, and about 1 in 6 of these international doctors is Indian. The impact of a sudden fee hike goes far beyond just tech. It's a healthcare issue, too. And this is the part most people miss. If the $100,000 fee applies only to new applicants, the ones who feel the brunt will be those just starting out. The median salary for first-time H-1B recipients in 2023 was about $94,000, meaning most can't easily cover the fee. Never mind what they'll need to support relocation or family. Immigration policy experts warn that this could cause companies to pull back on hiring, leaving crucial roles unfilled for years. And the largest shortages might not arrive immediately, but simmer, creating long-term pain. India could experience the initial shock, especially as its $283 billion IT sector depends heavily on sending professionals to the U.S., which supplies over half its revenue. However, Indian outsourcing firms like TCS and Infosys have already begun to diversify their staff, shifting more roles to local and offshore offices and insulating themselves from U.S. visa drama. Data reveals a larger trend. Although Indians still dominate the applicant pool, the share of leading H-1B employer companies with Indian roots has fallen sharply in recent years. Now, here's a touchy issue sure to spark debate. Will India's IT industry begin charging U.S. clients more to offset new costs? Many experts think so. Some expect U.S.-based companies to become far more selective about whom they sponsor for visas, leaving fewer opportunities for onshore work, and relying more heavily on remote workers, offshore teams, and gig contractors. How will that change the makeup of America's tech workforce and its global reputation for innovation? On the U.S. side, the impact could be dramatic and broad. Hospitals could struggle to recruit doctors. Universities might lose top foreign students, especially in STEM fields. And smaller startups without lobbying power won't be able to compete for talent against corporate heavyweights like Google or Amazon. As one immigration analyst put it, the new fee might force companies to offshore work, disrupt the management of U.S. subsidiaries, and ultimately deal a devastating blow to America's competitive edge and capability for innovation. Here's where the plot thickens. The demand for skilled workers in the U.S. is actually projected to grow, especially in medicine and technology. Shortages caused by prolonged disruptions could impact not only the economy, but also national health and well-being. And for Indian students, the largest group of international enrollees, the timing could not be worse. Many have already invested tens of thousands in the dream of a U.S. career, only to see their path blocked overnight. The founder of a major Indian student network suggests next year could bring a sharp drop in Indian enrollment, with more students opting for countries that offer clearer paths to permanent residency. What about legal challenges? Immigration lawyers predict lawsuits and policy reversals in the coming months. Some analysts caution that large firms, say Google, Apple, or Meta, could lobby for exemptions, avoiding the very fee meant to level the playing field. If those exemptions happen, is the intent of the policy defeated? Here's a question to stir debate. Should powerful corporations have the right to bypass rules that smaller competitors can't? Ultimately, this is more than just a sudden tax hike. It's a real-world stress test for U.S. businesses and the economy itself. H-1B visa holders and their families inject an estimated $86 billion into the American economy each year, contributing substantial payments to federal, state, and local tax bases. The choices companies make in response, whether by embracing remote teams, shifting roles offshore, or aggressively pursuing exemptions, will determine whether the U.S. remains the magnet for global talent or loses ground to countries with more open arms. So what do you think? Is the $100,000 fee an overdue correction or a misguided policy that risks America's leadership in innovation and education? Should Indian companies shift work offshore or fight to keep their U.S. pipeline open? Are exemptions for tech giants fair or a loophole that hurts smaller players? Join the debate below and let your thoughts be heard.